Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter. What is Karma? By Michael Dolan, B.V. Mahayogi Maharaj. In the 3rd chapter, Krishna pivots from metaphysics to ethics. He has explained the nature of soul and God. What are we to do about it? Now that we have contemplated the eternal nature of the Atma, how are we to act? Arjuna's idea of right and wrong so far is coloured by social considerations, not by any real sense of God consciousness. In fact, society consciousness and God consciousness are always coming into clash. Arjuna has advanced the idea that ethical considerations, including family and country, should trump social duty. His duty as a warrior is subordinate to the greater good of the society. Therefore, he should not fight. In fact, fighting is sinful and immoral. Inaction would be better, since action here would be bad karma. Krishna does not argue against social conventions and ordinary religious duties, but he wants to take the conversation to a higher level. He wants Arjuna to understand the basis of proper conduct. Religious rituals are fine, but they must be based on wisdom. Wisdom means a proper understanding of reality. Reality is eternal. What is not eternal cannot possibly be considered real. The soul and the Supreme Soul are real. Work or karma must reflect this understanding. Religion means proper adjustment. Our ethics must be in line with ontology. If the soul is eternal and God is eternal, our relation with God must be one of sacrifice. Sacrifice is the basis of religion. Our work or karma must be centered around sacrifice. Sacrifice is the most essential idea of religion. Sometimes the idea of sacrifice is defined as an act of slaughtering an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to God or to a divine or supernatural figure. In a more general sense, sacrifice means an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or worthy. Krishna teaches that work must be done as a sacrifice for God, or karma will bind one to this material world. One who acts selfishly will be reborn as a reaction to karma. Krishna appeals to Arjuna, explaining that karma must be done in sacrifice to divinity. One who so acts becomes unattached and free from karmic reaction. Sacrifice is primordial, Krishna says. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all gods and men taught sacrifice as part of life. Sacrifice fulfills human life. Even simple sacrifice pleases the gods and will also please you. The Vedas teach that we must perform sacrifice to the gods. They in turn give us rain and healthy crops. In an everyday sense, the more you give, the more you get. And there is always higher pleasure in giving than receiving. When the gods are happy, they give us rain. All living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rain. Since rains are born of sacrifice, which flows from duty, following duty is a form of sacrifice. The food that comes from the earth is not karma-free. Those who prefer food for selfish enjoyment eat only sin. Food offered in sacrifice to God, on the other hand, frees his devotees from sin. One who does no sacrifice but enjoys the gifts of the gods without repaying them is no better than a thief. All bills must be paid. The Vedas teach duty and sacrifice. The Vedas are God-given, so God is always found in acts of sacrifice. Understand this, Arjuna, and do your duty and sacrifice to God without selfishly thinking of the consequences. For one who avoids sacrifice leads a life of sin. One who lives delighted only in the senses lives in vain. Rejoice in the spirit. One who is self-realized and joyful in the spirit will transcend mundane duty and enter into the spirit of total sacrifice. Such a self-realized soul serves a higher purpose. When one surrenders to the Supreme, he finds a higher meaning in doing his karma and dharma. He is neither chained to work merely to do his duty, nor has he any reason to avoid work. Surrendered in sacrifice, he finds the perfection of self-realization in action. He is neither dependent on others nor attached to the results of karma. One who acts in this way attains realization of the Supreme. His karma is in perfect harmony. You may think that I am speaking in the abstract. You are a king and must act as a king. But even kings like Janaka and others attain the perfectional stage I have described through proper adjustment in the performance of their karma and dharma. You may have reached a stage of non-attachment where you think that duty is no longer pertains to you. In that case, for the sake of educating the people in general, you should do your work, accept your karma, and perform your duties without attachment to the results. You are a great man, O Arjuna. Remember that whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow. In fact, the whole world will follow whatever standards he sets by his example.